Hello, children. Here is the third lesson from the book Behive, and this lesson is titled as The Little Girl. Stories written by Catherine Mansfield. First of all, let's know about the author. Catherine Mansfield was born on 14th of October 1888 and died of 9th of January 1923. She was a prominent New Zealand modernist short story writer. She was born and brought up in colonial New Zealand. She wrote under the pen name Catherine Mansfield. Pen name is like, the name that is written for the in the stories and all, right? This was about the author. Now let's go through the theme of the lesson, The Little Girl. In The Little Girl, we have the theme of fear, control, freedom, independence, acceptance, compassion, and change. Number of themes are there in the lesson. We will go through them. We'll find out the story first of all. Let's go through a short introduction of the lesson. The story is actually about the little girl who is initially afraid of her father and avoids him. Initially, in the starting, this little girl is afraid of her father, right? And she just avoids him. She feels relieved on seeing her father go to office. Okay, so she didn't like her father, right? So she used to be happy when her father goes to office and all. So she used to be relieved, happy, relaxed. However, her feelings for her father changed in the end from fear to understanding. In all, she used to, be scared of her father. But at the end of the lesson, by the end of the lesson, her feelings for her father changed from fear to understanding. So how these feelings changed, what all happened that made her change her attitude towards her father, that we are going to see in this story. A beautiful story and an interesting one too. So watch it carefully, students. Let us start the story. To the little girl, he was a figure to be feared and avoided. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with "Goodbye, father." And oh, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. So, students, in the first thing we have seen in the first stanza, to this little girl, this figure means here father figure, right? Was she used to be afraid of her father, right? So every morning before going to work, before going to office, her father used to come and just give her a casual kiss, to which she responded by saying "Goodbye, father." Okay, she responded by saying "Goodbye, father," and she used to be relieved, right? जैसे उन्हें पता चलता था his father is moving out, she used to be relieved, relaxed. She used to be happy that yes, my father is going now. Okay, so she used to be happy and relieved when she heard the noise of the carriage. Carriage means the bag and thing, na? Right? So जैसे ही she used to hear that sound growing fainter. What is fainter? Less. धीरे होती जाती थी जैसे जैसे sound. She used to become happy that yes, he is going to office. Okay. In the evening when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. "Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper's out there and bring me my sleepers." And when in the evening her father used to come back to home, she just used to stand near the staircase, like near the stairs. She used to stand there and used to hear the loud voice of his father saying that "Where's my tea? Okay, just bring my tea in the drawing room. And hasn't the paper come yet?" And in a way, he used to order that "Mother, just go and bring my paper out there and bring my sleepers too." Okay, so it was like of rude nature, you can say. According to the girl, he was of rude nature. Okay, so she used to be afraid of him. Okay, and used to avoid him, right? Kezia, mother would call to her, if you're a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boots. So, Kezia, this is the name of the girl, right? This little girl, name of the girl. Kezia, mother would call to her. So, your mother used to call her that Kezia, if you're a good girl, you will take off your father's boots. That means shoes. अगर आप अच्छी girl हो, so you will just take out the boots of your father. Slowly the girl would slip down the stairs more slowly, still across the hall, and push open the drawing room door. By that time he had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. So by that time, she used to come down and used to open the gate door of the drawing room, and she used to come to his father to just take off her father's boots. So by that time his father used to wear spectacles. Okay, he used to wear his spectacles, his specs, right? And he looked at his daughter in a very terrifying way. Okay, rudely. Well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today? So he used to say that, be quick, hurry up, just pull off all these boots and all, just place them outside. So he used to ask him, have you been a good girl today, that you did things good in a very nice way? Are you a good girl? And the reply given, just see, don't know, father. So he used to be, she used to be scared. So this is the kind of reply that you give to the person from whom you are scared. Okay, you don't feel like talking to that person, or you're scared of that person. So this was the reply she used to give. I don't know, father. You don't know? If you stutter like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. So stutter is like, stammering sort of, when you are like not clear with your words. Okay, so he used to say that if you will stutter like this, then your mother would take you to the doctor. Okay, so this was the rude behavior. Like he used to say that if you'll talk like this, if you'll stutter or speak like this, your mother will take you to the doctor. Okay, she never stuttered with other people, had quite given it up, but only with father, because then she was trying so hard to say the words properly. Obviously, right, when you're scared of someone, you just stutter. Okay, you're not clear with your words. So she used to stutter only in front of her father because she was afraid of him, right? Okay, so she used to stutter in front of her father. Okay, what's the matter? What are you looking so wretched out? Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia, carry my teacup back to the table carefully. So he used to ask him that, why are you looking so unhappy? Wretched about means, why are you looking so unhappy? Right? He used to say to the mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. On the brink of suicide means as if she's going to commit suicide, as if if someone is unhappy, he or she thinks of committing suicide. So he used to say in such a rude way that, why are you so unhappy? It seems as if you are going to commit a suicide. Okay, here, Kezia, he used to order, just take my teacup back to the table carefully. He was so big, his hands, his neck, especially his mouth when he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. So according to Kezia, father was a giant. Giant in a way, he had, obviously he was a mature guy. So he was so big, his hands, palm, his neck, especially his mouth when he yawned. Okay. So it was like, for Kezia, his father was a big man and she was scared of her father always. Okay. So thinking about him was like thinking about a giant. A giant, a person who's huge. On Sunday afternoons, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with mother and father. So on Sundays, what used to happen is that grandmother used to send her to have a nice talk, friendly talk with her mother and father. But little girl always found her mother used to read, and father stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on one of the best cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. So on Sunday afternoons, Kezia used to love spending time with her parents, but mother was always busy in reading and all, and father used to just lie down, stretch out on the sofa, right? He used to sleep, his handkerchief, hanky on his face, his feet on one of the best cushions, and he used to sleep soundly, right? Like in a, he used to snore. Okay, hope you know the meaning of snoring. It's like making that grunting sound. Okay. Okay, so this was the situation. She sat on a stool, gravely watched him until he woke and stretched and asked the time, then looked at her. So she used to just sit there on a stool, okay, on a desk sort of. She used to just sit there and gravely, soberly, she used to watch him until he woke, right, and stretched and asked him the time. And asked her the time. He used to ask her the time. Don't stare so, Kezia. You look like a little brown owl, right? So he used to say that don't stare like that. Okay, staring is when you look at someone like continuously. Okay, so he used to say that don't stare like a owl. You are looking like a little owl. So don't stare at me like that, Kezia. One day, when she was kept indoors with a cold, her grandmother told her that father's birthday was next week and suggested she should make him a pincushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. So he used to say, like, rudely, don't stare at me and you look like an owl and all. So obviously it was rude for Kezia, right? So one day what happened, when she was indoors and it was cold, okay, her grandmother, unki grandmother ne kaha that your father's birthday is approaching, it's next week, so you should just plan some gift for him. Okay, so she just asked Kezia to just make a beautiful gift. So Kezia decided that she should make him a pin cushion. Pin cushion is actually a small soft cushion sort of, on which you can just place all pins and all. Okay, so she decided that she'll make it out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. Okay, laboriously, that means working hard, with a double cotton, the little girl stitched 3 sides. So she started making that cushion and she stitched 3 sides. Okay, but what to fill in it? So but she was like, obviously you all students know that a pillow, if you know that pillow, you need to fill something in it just to make it fluffy, obviously. So for a cushion also you need to fill something in it, uske andar aapko kuch rakhna hota hai, right? So she was confused that what should I fill in it. That was the question. And grandmother was out in the garden and she wandered into mother's bedroom to look for scraps. So she was like looking for some things that she can put into the cushion. So grandmother was there out in the garden and she looked here and there into mother's room just to put something into that cushion. On the bed table, she discovered a great many sheets of fine paper, gathered them up, tore them into tiny pieces and stuffed her case, then sewed up the 4th side. Okay, now what happened? Ab kya hota hai? She was looking for some scrap that she can just put into the cushion. So finally, she found some pieces, some sheets. बहुत सारे papers थे, paper sheets were there. So she decided that she'll put these sheets into the cushion, right? And she just tore those pages and stuffed her cushion. Stuff कर लिया cushion को, and she just stitched the 4th side. 4th side भी उन्होंने stitch कर दी. Now that night there was a hue and cry in the house. Okay, now what is hue and cry? Hue and cry is like all the chaos here and there, everyone shouting and all. Okay, in the house. Why? Because father's great speech for Port Authority had been lost. So what was missing? What was lost? Father's great speech. उनकी speech खो गई थी जो उन्होंने लिखी थी. Rooms were searched, servants questioned. So all the rooms were searched. कि कहाँ गई है वो speech. Servants were questioned. Finally, mother came into Kezia's room. Kezia, I suppose you didn't see some papers on a table in our room. So mother asked her that, I hope you haven't seen any of the sheets in our room. Did you see any sheets in our room? Oh, yes, she said. I tore them up for my surprise. And she said, but I tore them up for my surprise to fill in that pincushion and all. What? Screamed mother. Come straight down to the dining room this instant. That means immediately just come down to the dining room. She was very angry with Kezia, right? and she was dragged down to where father was pacing to and fro. Pacing to fro means moving here and there. When you're angry, you just move here and there. Okay, so hands behind his back. Well, he said sharply. Mother explained. So mother told everything to father. That actually Kezia just used them for the surprise and all. He stopped and stared at the child. First of all, he stopped and stared at Kezia. Did you do that? Okay, he asked her. Did you do that? And she stammered. No, no, she whispered. Mother, go up to her room and fetch down the damn thing. Okay, what thing? That surprise. Okay, so she was like, just go upstairs and bring that thing. See that the child's put to bed in this instant. And she said, just put this child into the room. This instant, that means right now. And bring that thing. Okay, so everyone was angry with Kezia that she tore all the sheets and all. That was important speech written by father. Okay, so mother was also angry as well as father was also angry with Kezia. Crying too much to explain, she lay in the shadowed room watching the evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. So obviously she was very sad, right? She was crying, okay, because she couldn't explain anything, that why has she used it. She didn't know about that sheet and all. Okay, so she was just lying there in dark room. Okay, and light, it looked as if light was making a sad pattern on the floor. Then father came into the room with a ruler in his hand. So now father came to Kezia with a ruler in his hand. So what was there in his hand? Ruler was there. I'm going to beat you for this, he said. Oh, no, no, she screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. So obviously father was like, I'm going to beat you now for what you have done. But she was like, no, no, please don't do it. And she was just hiding under the bedclothes. Okay, वो वहाँ पे छुप रहे थे because she was scared of her father. He pulled them aside. Sit up, he ordered, and hold out your hands. And he just ordered, sit up and just pull out your hand. You must be taught once and for all not to touch what does not belong to you. But it was for your birthday. Down came the ruler on her little pink palms. So obviously she was just going to explain that it was for your birthday. But what happened? Down came the ruler on her little pink palms. Okay, that means father started beating her with the ruler. Okay, without listening to the reason she has used it and whatever. She couldn't explain anything. So this was it. Hours later, when grandmother had wrapped her in a shawl and rocked her in the rocking chair, the child clung to her soft body. So obviously she was beaten up, right? So she was crying, but grandmother wrapped her, just covered her in shawl and all, right? And the child was clung to her. Clung means just like she was hugging her grandmother, right, in a soft what did God make fathers for? She sobbed is like when you're crying and your throat is stuck. Okay, so she just asked that what did God make fathers for? So she was very scared of her father, and she was like, why did God make fathers? She was crying. Here is a clean hanky, darling. Blow your nose. So grandmother was like, just here's a hanky, just blow your nose. This happens, right, when we are crying. Okay, so we have that feeling like we need anything for just blowing our nose. So she was just crying. This shows that she was crying so hard. So her grandmother said that please blow your nose and don't cry. Go to sleep, pet. You'll forget all about it in the morning. I tried to explain to father, but he was too upset to listen tonight. So grandmother said that don't be upset, just go to sleep and in the morning you'll forget everything. Okay, because at that time there was no use of explaining father, because at that time he was very upset for the loss of the speech. Okay, but the child never forgot. She never forgot about it. Next time she saw him, she quickly put both hands behind her back and a red color flew into her cheeks. What do you mean by red color flew? That means she just got scared whenever she used to look at her father, because she used to just quickly put her hands back because she was like, might be father would again beat her with the ruler. Okay, so she used to put her the McDonald's lived next door. They had 5 children. So a neighbor was there, McDonald's. Okay, he used to live next door, and they had 5 children. Looking though through a gap in the fence, the little girl saw them playing tag in the evening. So little girl Kezia was looking at them. All the children were playing, and they were playing tag. It is like a game of catching one another. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so they were playing, so, and the father with the baby Mao was on his shoulder. So baby was there on McDonald's, जो उनके neighbor थे, उनके shoulder पे baby था उनका Mao, right? And 2 girls, little girls, hanging on to his coat pockets ran round and round the flower beds, shaking with laughter. So she was looking at that place, and she was like, how happy these people are, how friendly this father McDonald's is. Okay, so she started comparing McDonald's with her father. Okay, because McDonald's was just playing with her with his kids and all, but her father, Kezia's father, would never do so, right? So once she saw the boys turn the hose on him, and he tried to catch them, laughing all the time. So they were playing with hose. Actually, hose is a water pipe. Okay, you play with water pipe, you just sprinkle water on one another. So they all were playing here and there. Okay, so they all were happy. Then it was she decided there were different sorts of father. At that time she decided, and she realized that there are different sorts of father. That means there are different kinds of father. Suddenly one day mother became ill, and she and grandmother went to hospital. So suddenly one day her mother became ill. So she and grandmother, that means mother and grandmother, went to hospital. Little girl was left alone in the house with Alice the cook. So little girl was alone. Kezia was alone in the house with Alice. Who was Alice? Cook. Okay, so that was all right in the daytime. Okay, daytime it was okay that Alice was there and Kezia was there. But while Alice was putting her to bed, she grew suddenly afraid. So at bedtime in the night, when Alice was just putting her to bed so that she can sleep, she was afraid, because at night we all are, like, because no mother was also not there, grandmother was also not there. So she got afraid. So she asked, what I'll do if I have a nightmare? She asked. I often have nightmares, and then Granny takes me into her bed. Granny means grandmother. So she was like, I often have nightmares, and grandmother just takes me to her bed. I can't stay in the dark. It all gets whispery. Whispery, what is whispery? It's like, scary sort of. So she was like, I'll be scared, okay? You just go to sleep, child, said Alice, pulling off her socks, and don't you scream and wake your poor pa. Okay, so Alice said that don't be afraid, you just go to sleep, and please don't, whenever you have a nightmare, please don't scream, because your poor pa is here. That means your father is here. Poor. Why did she say poor? Poor means here that father might be tired and all. Okay, so Alice said that he might be tired, so you just don't scream, otherwise he'll get disturbed. But the same old nightmare came. The butcher was a knife and a rope, who came nearer and nearer, smiling that dreadful smile, while she could not move, could only stand still, crying out, Grandma, Grandma. She woke shivering to see father beside her bed, a candle in his hand. What's the matter? He said. So again that nightmare came, that a butcher was there, right? A butcher, I hope you know the meaning of a butcher. It's a person who cuts up and sell all these animals and all, in the shop. Okay, meat seller. Okay, so she was like, a butcher was there with a knife and a rope, who came nearer and nearer to him, to her, and smiling that dreadful smile. So she couldn't move, she couldn't stand. She started screaming, Grandma, Grandma. She woke shivering, okay, to see father beside. So father was there beside her bed with a candle in his hand. And he asked, what's the matter? He said, what's the matter? They're like, kya hua? Okay. Oh, a butcher, a knife. I want Granny. And she was like, there's a butcher, there's a knife, having knife. I want Granny. He blew out the candle, bent down, caught up the little child in his arms, carrying her along the passage to the big bedroom. A newspaper was on the bed. He put away the newspaper, then carefully tucked up the child. He lay down beside her, half asleep, still with Butcher's smile all about her, it seemed. She crept close to him, snuggled her head under his arm, held tightly to his shirt. Just see, students. So, what did he do? He just, went to the big bedroom with Kezia, and he just, laid her on the bed. Okay, he put away the paper that was lying on the bed and tugged up the child. Okay, tugged up's like, just hugged that child and made her comfortable. Okay, and she also just crept close to him. She also came close to her father, okay, and snuggled her head under his arm. Snuggled is like, again, comfort in a comfortable position. Snuggled her head under his arm, held tightly to his shirt. Then the dark did not matter. She lay still. So, students, did you see how her father made her comfortable? After all, he was her father. So, he just made her comfortable when she was afraid. Here, rub your feet against my legs and get them warm, said father. So, father said, you can just rub your feet against my legs so that you may feel warm and you can sleep comfortably. So, did you see? Before some time, the father was very rude to her, but this time he was so polite. Okay, he showed this gesture of love to Kezia, right? So how beautifully he showed this gesture, right? Tired out, he slept before the little girl. A funny feeling came over her. So because father was tired, so he slept before the little girl. Okay, unse pehle wo so gaye. A funny feeling came over her. Poor father, not so big after all, and with no one to look after him. He was harder than grandmother, but it was a nice hardness. Obviously, this Kezia used to sleep with grandmother sometimes. So she was soft, but father was hard. Okay, but she liked this hardness. And every day he had to work and was too tired to be Mr. McDonald. So now she started comparing that his father was so busy that how can he be like Mr. McDonald, that friendly father, neighbor. Okay, so Kezia started thinking that my father is so busy, so that's why he is not like Mr. McDonald. She had torn up all his beautiful writing. She stirred suddenly and sighed. What's the matter? Asked her father. Another dream? So again, she had torn all the sheets of her father's speech, right? So she just stirred again. Okay, so stirred is like just got up suddenly again. So her father again asked, what's the matter? Did you get any other dream? Like, क्या आपको फिर से कोई dream आया है? Oh, said the little girl, my head's on your heart. I can hear it going. What a big heart you have got, father dear. So just see this last line. It's so beautiful, na? Like, she said, oh, my head. That means Kezia's head was on father's heart. So because she was sleeping with her father, so she was like, my head is on your heart, and I can hear it beating. I can hear it. And what a big heart you have got, father dear. So this was an expression of love. She said at the end, finally she said that you have got a big heart, father. So this is how Kezia's feelings for her father changed from fear to understanding. Okay, so this was a beautiful chapter, students. I hope you have understood the chapter. Read the chapter. This is how author has shown the beautiful, lovely relationship of parents with their children. Like, sometimes they may be strict, but after all, they are your parents. So if any time they are rude to you, they are strict, it's only for your benefit. Okay, you should not think like they are rude, they don't love you. No, after all, your parents will always love you, right? So this was a beautiful message that we got from this story. This bond has the strength, this bond of parents and children have the strength of surviving all kinds of problems and challenges. Okay, so in order to prepare little children, parents sometimes try to be strict. They give you strict punishments and all, but it is for your benefit only. I hope you all have understood the story, students. Read the chapter thoroughly. For any doubt, contact me. I'll see you all in your next class. Till then, just take care, students. Thank you. Just read the chapter.